You've spent close to a year or more getting your manuscript ready and polished. And now you're ready to take the next step of having it published and put out into the world. However, there's a lot of different choices out there. There's self-publishing, hybrid publishing, and traditional publishing. Mostly those three are talked about, but there's also a subset under each of those. And one of those is independent publishing, also known as indie publishing. So exactly what is it? Well, simply put, it's a way for authors to publish their books without going through a traditional publisher, but also having some additional support. It's not the same as hybrid. On today's episode, we'll break down exactly what indie publishing is, why many authors have found success in it, and the top tips you'll need to succeed in this space. This is Your Path to Publish. I'm your host, Zach Christensen. For the past decade, our team has guided authors just like you to find the best path to publish your book, get people excited to buy it even before it launches, and to turn it into the ultimate business card to build your business and your legacy. If you are ready to get your book out of your head and into people's hands, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. For anyone who has kids or has hung around kids, you can quickly understand how adept they are at learning and growing based on where they are in their stages of development, as well as all of the information that's available to them and all that they're exposed to. Growing up, I went from having no technology really at home besides a TV to having all this technology and access to everything, all this information. And learning computers was a part of my school curriculum through junior high and high school. One of my kids brings home their laptops from school and does a lot of the learning through the apps on there. They're learning math and science in a different way than I did. It doesn't mean it's wrong. It's just a different way of doing things. And just as there's new ways to learn, to grow, and new methods of teaching, the publishing industry has been changing in many different ways with many different paths to publish. Traditional publishing was the main way to do that for a long time. Self-publishing and hybrid publishing have grown, and indie publishing or independent publishing has grown as well. Indie publishing is short for independent publishing, which empowers authors to be able to bring their work directly to readers without having to rely on traditional publishing houses. Now, the rise of Kindle ebooks, audiobooks, and print-on-demand technology has revolutionized this approach, making it easier for writers and to publish their books on their own terms. Now, indie publishing typically attracts authors who want to have high creative control, faster publishing timelines, and have better royalties for their books. But just like any publishing path, you need to have careful planning, strong marketing, and understand the trade-offs with going this route. Now, you might be saying, wait, isn't indie publishing the same as self-publishing? Indie publishing and self-publishing are often used interchangeably, but they have a few subtle differences. So first, self-publishing authors manage every step of the process themselves, from writing and editing to getting the design done, whether they hire someone out independently to do that, but they're in charge of the distribution and the marketing. Indie authors often hire professional service providers, often within one house, one business, and they have editors, formatters, and cover designers. And you're paying for these services, but not as high as you would with a hybrid publisher. So what this provides is experts and those who can distribute and get your book out there and relieve some of that burden, but still you own the rights of your book. Now, the trade-off typically is you have a better royalty, not as good as you would get with self-publishing, but you get a better royalty than you would with traditional publishing. So to compare indie publishing to traditional publishing, with traditional publishing, you typically need a literary agent, you have to submit a proposal, and the timeline is a lot longer. And traditional publishers will take a large share of the royalties. They'll usually take 85 to 90% of the royalties, where an indie author, you can keep 60% or more of the book earnings in each of the formats that you get. And then indie publishing allows you to retain the rights to your work, whereas the traditional publishers will be buying the rights to your book, or you'll be signing those rights over for a monetary reward, also known as an advance. Jumping into some of the financial aspects and examples for indie publishing, you'll typically earn 40 to 60% of each book sale. So for example, if you have a book that sells for $15, you might earn anywhere from $5 to $9 per sale, depending on who it's sold through and the price to print the book. Where if you were going to a traditional publisher, you might only earn $1 to $2 per sale. If you went self-publishing, you might earn a little more, around $6 to $10 or $11 per sale, depending on how it's published. You may get some additional help with each path, but it's all up to you. Where indie authors have an option is that you can buy additional help and marketing through whichever independent publisher you're going through, and the effectiveness of that marketing will vary. To quickly go through the process, independent publishing will cover the same process as you would with any process, where you'll have your manuscript prepared. So you'll have professional editing, you'll get beta readers, you'll get the book formatted, you'll have cover and art design, and then you'll have different distribution channels for your book. And all this will depend on the independent publisher that you go out and search for. So just as with any business, not all indie publishers are created equal. Some offer valuable services and support, while others operate more like a vanity press, and you have to be very aware of the fees that they're charging. So make sure you're going out there and you research publishers thoroughly. Check reviews and testimonials from other authors. Understand what the services do and do not include. Join an indie group of authors to get their feedback and see what people are saying and who they're choosing. Thoroughly vet and understand the contract. Understand what the royalty rates are and the payment schedules. Make sure you own the rights. Who owns the rights to distribute, as well as who owns the copyright for the book. In most cases, you, the author, will keep 100% of those rights. And then understand how the marketing and distribution support work. So a few common challenges that you'll need to make sure you understand and consider with independent publishing is time management and marketing strategies. Even though you'll have the support of an independent publisher, you need to make sure that you're balancing all of your activities well. So set a consistent writing schedule so that you can get your book in by the deadline that you want. Outsource tasks that you can and that you can afford, or use other tools to help support that, such as different apps to help you design and get the manuscript ready in the right formats. And then with marketing strategies, make sure you have a plan. Put it together early and start small and then grow it as you're able to. As you've been learning about indie publishing today, you might be asking yourself, is it worth it? It offers full creative control, high royalty rates, faster publishing timelines, and some support. If that sounds valuable to you, indie publishing might be worth exploring. As I've worked with more and more authors, I don't believe that there's the perfect publishing path for somebody. It's all about understanding what your goals are and what path best aligns with that when you understand the trade-offs. And even if you pick hybrid over self-publishing, you'll have a different experience. It doesn't mean that you won't be successful. If you need further help in understanding which publishing path is right for you, go to juxtabook.com and set up a free consultation, and we can discuss this and help you figure out which publishing path would be best for you. Again, go to juxtabook.com and set up your free consultation. And if you enjoyed this episode, please leave a review on your podcast platform and let us know what we can do to improve, and if you'd like to submit a question that will be featured on a future episode. To do that, go to juxtabook.com/yourpathtopublish, and you can click the appropriate button to leave a voice question. Thank you for listening today. Go out there, dust off your manuscript, and get on the path to your publishing success.